Back at our office in Minneapolis, we get when our UPS guy comes in or our mailman or whoever comes in, they say, "Wow, it smells really nice in here." And we all know that odors, can trigger different things and even memories, of school or whatever. Tell us kind of what the effect on the natural has on odors and what odors have an effect on us.
In the past, we used to kind of treat odors as cosmetic. You don't like how it smells, but it's not going to hurt you. Well, we're learning it really will. It really causes some severe problems because the olfactory senses that we have are our primary defense mechanism. We have sensors that are capable of sensing literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions and billions, of individual chemical compounds that we call odors. And our brain is being hit constantly with all these odors, and it builds a catalog and says, okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. Whoa, I don't know what that one is. And as soon as it hits a whoa, immediately it sends a message to your body, alarm. Get ready to fight or flee. Your blood pressure goes up, your stress level goes up, all your senses go up, everything, your brain, your eyesight, and everything is on alert. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be. But now think what happens in our new modern environment where our senses are being assaulted continuously with all these kinds of things. We essentially have sensory overload. And so that means that our bodies are almost always on a high stress level. And every time you've got stress level with the heart pumping and the blood pressure up, that leads to all kinds of other physiological problems. It never has a chance to back off. Now you compound that with the problem that we are also changing the way in which we live. Now that we're getting to be an older population and we're retiring, we're giving up our homes. We're now moving into retirement communities, co-ops, apartment buildings. People are now living tighter and tighter together. And so not only do the elderly, especially as we reach that age where we change our lifestyle, give up living in a home, but now we're having to live with other people and other people's odors. And there's just the fact that you're under stress by moving, compounded with other people's odors, puts people in just such a defensive mechanism where they immediately dislike each other because I don't cook goats on my floor, or whatever you're imagining they're doing. And so as a result, it makes living together a sociological problem as well as a physical problem, all because of the odors. And as we jam our people closer and closer together and have to live tighter and tighter and share each other's things, the best thing that we can do is help get rid of odors in a very natural way so that at least in our own home, at least in our own bedroom, that we have an area of security where it smells fresh in there and we're not being bombarded with a lot of other people.
Give ourselves a break, right.
And that whole idea of how important olfactory senses is something that's a new science that's being built. And what we're really starting to discover is that the trigger mechanisms, just as you mentioned, for people to recall old events, unpleasant events, happy events, are having an awful lot to do with our overall sense of well-being, our perception of how well we're doing, and that affects our overall health. One of the things that we think is going to happen as more and more of our product finds its way into retirement communities is that we are going to see satisfaction with their position in life, satisfaction with the condition that they are in, raise. And once that's coming up, and once you raise the happiness level, if there is such a thing like that, then everything else kind of starts to fall in place. And it's one of the keystones, I think, to having people live together.
Sure, that makes sense. And yeah, if you're overall feeling more pleasant about yourself and feeling more positive, and that's kind of that spreads a little bit, and it makes living with you can imagine day after day if everyone's crabby and down and kind of dealing with those environmental issues internally, how that projects externally. I think you've talked even before about people who in relationships who are maybe angry with each other, or there's tension, and maybe it's not really even tension, but their bodies are fighting this fight, and it comes out in anger, it comes out in snippiness, and
Well, it does, because that's part of your defensive mechanism, and your body is trying to get back into a zone where it feels safe. And it used to be, when we could spend some time outside, just going outside and cooling off,
right.
getting some fresh air, really was all we had to do. And we don't have that option nearly as much anymore, and so it is becoming a bigger and bigger problem.